Hey guys, so what we're looking at today is making a game piece for a personalised Monopoly game. So one of the things I thought about when I was getting shit to do this was, well, what could I base it around? And so I've just started taking my son to Tiny Tots up at Flagstaff Football Club. So I was like, well, we can have a look at the different clubs and we could maybe do a Monopoly board in relation to that. You have the footy grounds, blah blah blah, but I just thought, well, I'll do the Falcons first. So all I did was look up a decent Falcon silhouette that I could then trace, and you can see that I've put it in here. So now what we might move on to is how to do that. So what I first started with was making the base. So I like to sketch on the top layer, and then I'm using the line tool. Now for this I made it 10 millimeters in radius, so that's going to be 20 millimeters. So it's actually quite a big piece. And so I might have to change that eventually, but we'll see how it goes, because the 3D printers don't do too well with making things like real little. The filament has to go somewhere. So then I was making a profile up that I was going to rotate. So, and that was simply looked like this. I do use the 3-point arc tool a lot in this tutorial. Look at that, and then finishing off a piece like that. Okay, and then I went solid and revolve. So I've already selected it's already selected the profile. Now I just need to select the axes, which is going to be this middle line here. I press OK. So you can see how that kind of looks like the base or the bottom of a chess piece. So the next step of what we need to do, so we can see how different planes we've got there. We can draw on these planes, okay? So what I'm going to do is draw on this plane here, but first what I want to do is bring in a canvas for me to trace, because I'm not going to claim that I'm an artist. So you can see here, bring in our Falcon, and I can scale it up a little bit, and we're trying to focus on how well it fits on our base, as well as like keeping it in proportion to the base, as well as fitting it into it. Needs some decent contact points down the bottom to work from. So I'm pretty happy with that. I could maybe, I think on the last one I did make it a bit bigger. So we'll go as close to that as possible. Whoa. Oh, just got rid of it. Anyway, so if you do that, insert from computer, that one, open, yep, we want that. Alright, so the main thing I'm looking at, like I said, is proportions. And I'm trying to get these feet and tail to fit on my base. So that would actually be absolutely perfect. So I'm press OK. Now I need to do this in two parts. Okay, I need to do an outline and then cut the bits out from that. Or I could do it the other way. So I'm trying to think about the best way to do this to make it so I could have the cutout. So if I look at my last one, not super duper happy with this, simply because and if it lets me do it, I'm going to rotate it around. It's got one side that I've traced the pieces on, but I guess it kind of looks like it does have a front and a back, but it'd be cool if we could have it on both sides. So if we look at this now, so what we could do is trace the outside and then extrude from that outside bit there. So what I'm going to do is make a sketch. I'm sketching on this face here. Alright, now I'm going to sketch the outside of this. And so I'm going to be using, as you'll see here, I need to zoom in. And I don't really need it to be 100% perfect. But as you'll see just here, I'm just going across the white parts because I do need this to have a full a full join together outside. I can't do it in like little pieces at a time, simply because it wouldn't extrude for me properly, and I'm not happy with that. I need to put in here a shortcut for the 3-point arc tool. Is what I need as well. I'll put that one in there. We've got some straight lines for a bit, so L for line, remembering our shortcuts guys wherever we can. Zoom in so we can get it reasonably close. Come on. There we go. And then we're back to the arc tool again. Might also want to have a play around with the stuff that up completely. the spline tool, I am personally very bad with this tool. You can kind of see there how, I guess, I don't know, I'm not very good at using it. I have seen some students absolutely fly with that. They are a lot faster than I can use the arc tool. So that would be my suggestion. Especially as with this new program, has a way more snap points, so it seems to want to snap more and make it harder for me to actually put things exactly where I want them to go. But in saying that too, you guys might have seen my other videos of me making these things, and I have really loved how good the snap points are sometimes. So now you can see there I'm quite a fair way away from his head. I could go back and change that, but honestly can't be bothered. So essentially what I'd be doing when I'm making this, if I was making the full set, would be that I'd be making 10 of these, and I should be going for close enough is good enough, but obviously we do want it to still look good. So at the end of the day, if you're doing close enough is good enough but it doesn't actually look any good, you might as well have not done it at all. So we can see, I think you're not going to be, oh my gosh, okay. Well, it turns out the cursor, if you push down the rolling wheel, it doesn't let you move around. I'm going to zoom in a bit further, and we're still going around. Alright. And so as you can see, like I said, a lot of using the arc tool. For this one, got a heap of straight lines here though, which is nice. We got these going. Or let's just snap that next little point. I'll do. Now one thing you're going to see here with the bottom is that I'm going to go into the actual base. Oh, go away. Like that, straight across. So this is so that it's well and truly housed in the base of our game piece. It's going to make it easier for it to 3D print because we don't want it to obviously fall over. And these game pieces are quite small. So now here we go, just to there. So we're going to extrude this. So as I've told you guys previously, I like to put it on a sideways angle when I do this. So solid, extrude, and when you go symmetric, sorry, I'm going to try and make 3mm to begin. You can kind of see how that's overlapping here a little bit. I don't actually mind that too much, so I'm going to change that from cut to joint, and I press OK. Now the beauty of this program as well is that it keeps our piece there. Yeah, I think I've done that wrong. So I should have maybe started out with the other pieces first. So essentially if I started out with the other cutouts first, I could have extruded those and then extruded on the same plane this piece instead of trying to cut these pieces out. So yeah, no, so don't do it. But anyway, so what we're going to do is right clicking and then left clicking on that, go and create sketch. And now one of the best things about this is that I've just got to trace the white areas, and that's a lot less area than with the outside of it, or for the black area I should say. So I'm just going to zoom all the way in here. You can guess why I'm starting in the bottom is because it's got a lot more straight lines, which just seems to be a lot easier to get done quickly. So we've got that now. Alright, one more straight line there. Now keeping in mind we do have to follow along the edges, okay? Not straight line there, you can let me grab it or not. That'll work. Alright, now we're back to the arc tool again. And we're tracing around. That'll work. And come on, go down here. And I'll just use the line tool for these ones. That's an arc. So while it would have been easy, say for me to do an arc on line on that bit, so it does end up getting curved, and it is a very slow curve. So it wouldn't have looked right if we used a straight line on that. So please keep that in mind as well. Oh, we go there. Don't do that to me. There we go. Last little bit. Of this wing anyway. Just do the whole other side. Alright, let's make sure we do his face properly. Oh, more of a curve there. You have to use a line on that bit. Go. Let's get all up in here done. I'm happy with that. Change over to line tool again by pressing L. Alright, now let's get this section done. Change it back to the line tool. Sweet, we can get these done real quick. Alright, I think we're down to his last little wing, which is good. Alright, arc tool again. I might do the large part first. Cool. Zoom in. That's good, nice. Alright, so that's all joined up there. Yeah, that's all joined up. Right, so now I've got to do the eye. Alright. It's interesting, isn't it? Because it's got that shape. So let's try it. Let's try the spline tool. Shouldn't have pressed escape then. I meant to press enter. Alright, that worked pretty good. Way better than trying to use the arc tool. Sweet. Alright, I'm happy with that. Now I'm going to zoom in a bit more. We're just literally going to use a circle for this one. See how well I got the middle. Pretty good, not gonna lie. Okay, done. Now let's cut this out. I'm going to go solid, extrude this one, that one. And we're literally going to extrude one. I should have made that negative one, I'm guessing. Cut. And so let's double check this going the right way. Cool. And as you can see here, if we cut it all the way through, we'd have no connection between some of these pieces, alright? So let's make sure we're doing that right. We're going to negative, whoops, negative one. Alright, just to give him his features. Alright, cool. There's other things you could do too, so if you are happy with it being all blocky like that, that's one thing. Let's quickly turn off the canvas so you can see what you've done a bit better. You could try using the fillet tool on a few of these pieces here. Just curving up his wings a little bit. Alright, you could even do it to his head as well. So okay for now. You kind of see that you can go through and you can make these pieces look a little bit nicer as well. So that's probably about it. So once you've finished that though, so I've made this all in one body. I can right click and I can go save as mesh. 3MF is fine and go OK and save it as game piece 1. Alright, and I'll probably save it in, oh, I don't know where it is, and it's also just going to save my download, so I'll go save, and make sure you save your work, okay. Name it game The reason I chucked my name on the first one was simply because then I'd know what it was on the SD card reader. But yeah, I probably wouldn't print them off one at a time, probably wait until you gave me 2 or 3 and then I'd print them off. So hopefully this has been helpful. But yeah, we're going to be moving through this hopefully pretty quickly after you guys do a bit of design work. So yeah, hopefully you guys have learned something, and I'll see you in the next video.